So I'm going to make you pronounce this very slowly, and I'm going to make you pronounce this.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I'm going to become Steve Levy if I don't do this right.
Yeah. So it's just say it in your head 3 times real quick. But Caesars made an acquisition, and I'm glad I don't have to tell you who it was.
So Caesars has made a acquisition of a company based in Australia named Zero, and I'm going to spell it first. F-L-U-C-S. Fluctuations is the idea you should have in your head. Zero Flux is the name of the company that was acquired last week by Caesars. Okay, we're past the dangerous
we're done.
part.
We don't have to say
Yeah.
We'll just call it ZF from here on out. Like,
ZF.
We're talking about.
I love it. I love yes.
Yeah.
ZF. Yes. Eric Hession, president of Caesars Digital, talked about the expertise in data science and trading technology coupled with their passion for sports makes them a great fit. That complements the rewards program. And really what this company is going to do is help their capabilities when it comes to not only same game parlays, but expanded SGP markets. I'll read directly from the story we have by Sam McQuillan over at LSR. The company now has full access to the Australia-based startup's cutting-edge software, which sportsbooks have used to augment their pricing capability with their own data. The company also hopes the new addition will, quote, unlock exciting new product features and benefits for Caesars sportsbook bettors. That was not released in terms of the financials on this one. Financials were not released. Some of the company will stay under the leadership of founder Steve Gray and former CTO Carly Christensen. Again, this goes back to the discussion we had earlier when we talked about sports betting brands and whether they're playing catch up and what they're focusing on now, right? Well, now we see Caesars, after it made a big move, right, to essentially end the bulk of its outbound marketing, right? A lot of its TV, a lot of its big bonus offers went away, and Caesars said, you know what? We got to fix this platform after they had the disaster with Will Hill in Nevada. We got to do right by our tech, and now you see them making a move towards same game parlay and towards improving that technology and just going along with the rest of the market and saying, yeah, traditional sports betting hold at 5.5% isn't what is winning this market right now. 13, 14, 15% hold on same game parlays is absolutely what's going to be driving margins, at least in the near term, until we find out if that point of diminishing returns that we talked about exists within the U.S. sports betting market. So seems like a fairly smart move for Caesars to try to augment that technology and build onto what it has now, which is, of course, a lot better than what they were dealing with when they were still trying to integrate with the Will Hill technology after that merger went down a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, at least these guys aren't sitting on their hands, right? You know, I mean, that's one of the things I do like, because one of the things we talked about, Adam, just mainly from these states in general, where we're saying, listen, more competition's good. It's going to make people try to be better, right? And like you look at Caesars and MGM, and I think at the very beginning, and this is just my opinion, I don't know if it is your opinion, so people don't angry tweet, but just my opinion was, I think that the thought probably was, what do you mean? We're MGM. We're Caesars. Like, whatever. Of course, people are just going to come and give us their business. Like, we're MGM. We're Caesars, And then now they had to play catch up from an app standpoint and had to really put in some serious work to get to even close to where DraftKings and FanDuel are. And at least they understood, it took them a little bit too long in my personal opinion, but at least they understood, hey, we got to make some moves. Like, we got to do this. Like, us just sitting back going like, hey, look, we have a bunch of casinos beating our chests across the country. Like, that didn't work, and it's not going to work. And so, like you said, Caesars app is much, much better now. I mean, we have it here, which is great. It functions a whole, like, I can't even put into words how much better it functions than the previous version of it. Same could be said for MGM. So both of them at least working on the tech side of things as we move into, as you mentioned, maybe the next phase of all this, which is a customer choosing who they want to spend their money with based off of, I don't know, whether the app works properly or not.
Well, to your point, Matt, it seems to me, I don't know whether or not they, we're saying, well, we can just rely on the brand, right? We can stand on name with MGM and Caesars and bigger Opera Bally, whoever it might be. I don't know if it was all that, but I do think there was a part of it in which they didn't understand the sophistication of the competition and the fact that, DraftKings and FanDuel, yes, of course, there are web-based versions of that people were using for DFS for the longest of times, but these are companies that were preparing for post-PASPA for quite a while. They knew that getting from DFS to PASPA was, or post PASPA was the way that they were going to be able to blow up, and they were ready. The tech was ready. Yes, there were moments where they had significant downtime. Hell, FanDuel had significant downtime just a couple of weekends ago. It happens. It's going, but it wasn't the way it is with the legacy casino companies. We didn't ever see with DraftKings and FanDuel what we saw with BetMGM, where we were getting decimal odds inside the app when it first launched. That's just a fundamental misunderstanding of the customer and a fundamental misunderstanding of the sophistication that the two big ones were going to bring in terms of their tech.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you and I would just sit there and giggle because you would open up the app and like the thing that they would be feeding you like cricket lines, and like they'd be feeding you like soccer lines, like that was literally the home screen of some of these apps, and we're just going, what are you doing? What are you
Matt,
doing
you had to with one app that shall remain nameless. You had to, on its top menu in the Nevada version of the app, you had to scroll through cricket, through tennis, through basketball, and then you could get to NFL in the middle of NFL season.
Yeah,
not great.
Yeah, not great.